Come. Attaboy, good boy, Cal Dog. Took you a little while to get here. So it's a hot day out here. Happy Saturday to everybody out here. Welcome to teaching your dog how to come when called. I tell you what, there's nothing more difficult than trying to teach your dog to reliably respond to the command, come to me when I call you. And one of the reasons why it's such a challenge is because there's really no pre-existing processes or structures from a behavioral standpoint that we can tap into. Wolves and dogs have many signals to sound the alarm, as we've gone over before, to congregate as a group, and also to, hey, get the heck away from me. You're scaring the daylights out of me over here, or I just need you to back off. But there are no specific signals that mean, hey, Fred, hey, buddy, come here. I need to talk to you for just a minute. There's none of those. They don't exist. So this calling your dog to you specifically saying, hey, Captain, come to me, to right here to me, that is a man-made behavior. That is a condition that we created for our desire to help us to achieve a reliable response to our dog so that they can run loose. We don't have to be tethered to them on a string for the rest of their lives. So I love the command come. To me, it is the command. It is the command of all commands. It is the golden command. I can't imagine a dog without the command, come to me when I call you. I don't think Captain can either. Because, see, I can throw this ball, and he'll go back there somewhere and go get the darn thing. And then if I say, come, he'll bring it right to me. In a second, he'll put her head between my legs, guaranteed. There you go. Just does it all the time. But all that didn't happen right off the bat, because it's not natural instinct to go chase something, grab it, and then share it with dear old Bryan. The instinct is to go get it and run off with it and keep it from dear old Bryan. So I had to work on come when called and then put many pieces together. And I'll be teaching you how to teach a dog to fetch reliably. After all, I did for many years, I trained service dogs for children with advanced muscular dystrophy. And these dogs had to do what's called directed retrieve. Go pick up that pencil. Go pick up that school book. Bring it to me. So that brings me to a point. When you teach the command, come to me when I call you, it is a behavior that can least afford mistakes on your part. It requires the utmost discipline. And it is the command that if I meet people and other dog owners, it is the one that I see the greatest amount of mistakes being committed by the dog owners in trying to teach this to their dogs. So I'm going to break this thing down in today's video, Monday's video, and in Tuesday's video to make sure that you can teach come when called the way that I do so that you have the same response that I do. I am going to be taking a little break from it on Sunday because if you remember, Mother's Day was last month. And I bragged about moms all over the world, these animal moms. Now I need to kind of take up for us fellows tomorrow because, hey, we got to roll too, and every dog has its day. So tomorrow I'll be talking about Father's Day from an animal standpoint. But right now, let's get to come when called. Notice I got a little treat bag hanging here in front of me. Yeah, it's bright orange. I picked this one out today. It actually belongs to my wife, Kira. But I thought, seeing how I'm wearing black, maybe if I put my black treat bag on, you guys might not be able to see it. My particular treat bags that I use, I can swivel from side to side. Here, if I want to work on heel or anything of that sort, and then I can bring it to the front and give my dog a target. When Captain came to me, and I'll just kind of show it again. Come here over here, Cal Dog. Down. Good boy. So if I call him to me, Captain, come. And you'll see him right there. He comes around to this target right here. I created this. And then later what I do is I simply hide it or I don't have it on me at all. And now when I call my dog, cat free. Down. I'm going to hide it. Captain, come. And he still comes right to this spot. Now I can lift it up and I can give him the treat here or give him the ball, which he likes more than anything. Okay, but here's the biggest mistake that people make when they train their dogs to come when called. First of all, they don't have a stereotypic signal. They will say one moment, Captain. Next minute, they'll say, Captain, come. The next day, they'll say, Captain, here. And then someone will say, come here. And again, this is just adds up to confusion on the part of the animal, because if you want to obey the laws of canine communication, you have to use semiotics, which means I have to have a signal and I have to have a response that correlates with that signal, response to that signal, and it happens every single time. So to keep that from happening, here's a couple things I want you to practice right off the bat. You know, I have a good friend of mine, lives over there in Germany, Heiko Imken is his name. And he told me years ago, this is way back in the 1980s, so it was a long time ago, but man, I tell you, some things never change. They just never do. And some of those are just good old work. Rolling up your sleeves and be consistent and persistent at what you do. When I tell Captain to come, I am going to make sure that I use what's called a compound signal when I'm first teaching it. I will say, Captain, come. Captain, come. Captain, come. And eventually those two will be aligned together. They'll be known as a compound signal. The neat thing about compound signals is that after a while, once the dog has a decent understanding of the response and the interpretation of the command, then you can use an either or, which works out really great, because the day the Captain steps out in that street over here that's running parallel to me right now, if he steps out in that street, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if I will say, there's a car bearing down on my dog. Come. Oh no, I'm probably going to go, Captain, 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 about 40 octaves higher than what I'm saying right now. I'm going to panic here a little bit because I don't want the dog to get hit by a car. And more than likely, unless you just have this really cool sense of presence about you and under pressure, then you'll be able to get the come thing done. But the rest of us, we're probably going to be yelling our dogs' names. So when I was first training Captain to come, it was always Captain, come. Always, always Captain, come. Captain, come. Always Captain, come. Free. And then eventually, I switched to either or. Come. Captain. So they both work, free. And I encourage you to do the same thing, but definitely stick with it. Make a compound signal. I would always encourage, preface the main signal, come, with your dog's name. So again, Captain, come. Either or. Vital, vital. All right, now that we established that, let's move on to the next thing that I see people making a mistake with. Hugely. We are a very impatient lot sometimes, or maybe most of the time, and it doesn't change for training. We want our dogs to know everything. We want to know it right now, like in yesterday. You're not going to get that done in Come When Called. I am going to be dead honest with you right here. So let me get real close to you so you don't miss this little message I'm going to send you. Looking at me? Okay. Come when called reliably under just about all the conditions that you can imagine ever encountering with your dog while it is off leash will take months. Notice I said months. I didn't say days. I didn't even say weeks. Months. And during that time period, you'll have to count on maturity setting in. You have to count on your dog being so exposed to something that starts to habituate to it. So be patient here and build a solid foundation, because no one seems to do that. My girlfriend Heiko, he said one time, said, Bryan, if you want a dog to do anything off leash, teach it so well on a 4-foot leash that you and the dog can do it in your sleep. That's called a foundation. That's creating a conditioned response, which requires a stereotypic signal followed immediately by a stereotypic response. So by being on this 4-foot leash, I get to guarantee them both. So I'm not worried about distance. Everyone wants distance right off the bat. They want their dog to come from a mile away. Yeah, I get it. But you don't get that today. And you don't get that next week. You get that by paying the price for that. So here's how you get it done. Here's the first step that I do it. Once I establish my compound signal, I work the dog over and over and over again on a 4-foot leash. I take my goal. There's got to be a benefit to coming to me. Has to be a benefit. So make sure you have a benefit. It can be praise, it can be a dandy darn treat, Or for like Captain, it's the ball. When he sees the ball, whole world goes away. So I typically use a ball when I want to train something that I'm already don't have any help from nature training. So if you're going to use a treat for come when called, don't use the treat that you use for sit, for heel, for down. Oh heck, we got pre-existing processes and structures that we can tap into all day, every day on those things, but you got nothing when it comes to come when called. So I'm serious. Ante up, baby. I've used cheeseburgers, I've used hot dogs, I've used everything that you can imagine to create an incredible benefit for coming to me. All right, so take your little treat bag. If it's been on your side like a gunslinger, sling it to the front, right here, dead center. Why? Why right here, dead center? Because when I call a dog to me, I'm doing exactly that. I'm calling the dog to me. The front yard didn't call you. The backyard didn't call you. The kitchen didn't call you. Those people over there, they didn't call you. I called you. Me, come to me, directly to me. So here's how we get that thing done. Your dog doesn't have to be in a sit. It can be standing, it can be moving around, it can be checking the P mail. I don't care what it's doing. Here's what you do. Leash in hand, treat bag in front. Captain, come. Take a few steps backwards. Reel the dog in. Boom. Give reward. Right then. If you're using the ball, don't throw it 50 yards away. You just lost half of your dog's energy. No, bounce it right here in front of the dog. Let him grab it. Take it away from your dog. Do it again. Free. Move around. Captain, come. Bingo. Right there. Attaboy, buddy. Target it right here, baby. Right here. This is called a scheduled reinforcement. Scheduled. Every time I call you, you come to right here, and right here I give reward. Every single time. Boom, boom. I'm not giving the captain his ball every single time on this video because he's already trained. I get to do all the advanced stuff. You're going to get to too, once you earn it. Okay, another couple reasons why I want you to backpedal when you call your dog. One, sometimes when we say come, we say it differently than we say other commands. We kind of scream it or we raise the octaves a little bit. That can sound a bit like an alarm signal to an animal. And here you are, come, or you guys, come dog. And what that can do is be a little bit intimidating. Well, one neat thing about the animal kingdom, nothing is intimidating if it's moving away from me. So here we go. Captain, come. I'm moving away. Oh, that's not the least bit intimidation. Free. Plus, it gives me time to get my hands together here. So if I got all this leash here, I'm going to park Captain right there and go out to the end of this leash. So I got a lot of leash out here. Captain's over here. Maybe you can see him. I kind of adjust him in a way so you can see him. I got some leash to take up. We're going to graduate here in other videos where we have really long leashes. But for right now, I still want to make sure that when he comes here, he stops right here. I am not a drive-through window. You don't get to come here and say, hey, give me the treat. Thank you very much. I'm gone. No, you come here, you park it here. You don't leave here until I tell you to leave here. So backpedaling gives me the opportunity to adjust my hands and take up the slack on this leash so I can make what I just said happen. Captain, come. Take up that slack. Boom. Park it, baby, right there. Reward that dog. Sweet. Good job, buddy. Free. And you can do this out of a heel. That's the beautiful thing. Combination exercises. So it looks like this. Heel. So we're healing. Captain, come. Boom. Bingo. There you go. Heel. Captain, come. Yeah. Sweet. Oh, you deserve the ball for that one. Bam. And he's gone. Okay, so you see it's a lot of fun. Huge benefit, and I can do 50 of those in about 5 minutes. Yeah, when dogs are learning something difficult or something they don't have a natural inclination to do, flashcarding. Flashcarding. What's 1 + 1, dog? What's 1 + 1? I know what you told me what the answer was, but we're going to do it again. What's 1 + 1? What's 1 + 1? You're not ready for 2 + 1. You're ready for only 1 + 1. We do it over and over and over again. We do 50 reps now. We do 25 later today. We do another 30 in the morning. We do another 50 that afternoon. We work it. We're building a foundation. I want Captain in his sleep. He's laying there sacked out, and he thinks in his sleep he hears come. I want him getting up and looking for the center of my torso. And that only happens when you've done it 90 million times the same way. I always use the example, if someone today changed the laws about red lights and green lights and said we have to start going on the red and stopping on the green, I'm toast. Hang it up, Baron. I'm going to have to do the Uber thing or the Lyft thing forevermore, because I will kill a whole bunch of people and myself, because I've been stopping those darn red lights for a long time now. And I've been going on the green ones. And again, don't ever ask me what I do on the yellow ones, because it all depends on the situation. But that being said, I'm going to create the same condition for my dog. And this, by golly, is the step that if I see anyone make a mistake, and I have seen a whole bunch of them in 40 years, this is the one that everyone skips. Yeah, it's probably boring. Yeah, you want to get going a little bit faster. But I am telling you, you listen to what I'm telling you right now. I have trained dogs to come and call reliably to people for decades. Yeah, I've been doing it since before a lot of you watching this video were even born. And this is how you get it done. Don't skip it. Don't cheat the system. You can cheat on anything else and you can afford it, and so can the dog. If it doesn't lay down, so what? It doesn't lay down. It doesn't hold the stay, it doesn't hold the stay. But that darn dog that runs out in that street and you can't call it back, that dog that runs after a delivery person with the intention to bite and you can't call it back, that's how they get lost. I explained that a couple videos ago. They wander out your gate, you can't call them back, they just keep on going. Because why? Latent learning, and then I go a little bit too far and I see a dog at a distance and I have that local enhancement. Oh yeah, it just keeps on going from there. I don't play around with come when called. You probably hear my passion in my voice, because I am super passionate about it. And I'm tired of dogs running off. I'm tired of dogs being strays. I'm tired of all the leash laws that I have to deal with and Captain have to deal with, because you can't train your dog to come when called. Yeah, I've had to deal with it. I wrote a whole blog on it. I'm parking on this thing called I Don't Deserve Your Dog. Yeah, I've said before, we all deserve the dog we get, but sometimes Captain and I don't deserve your dog. Train your dog to come when called. And here's today, in this video, you do the steps I told you. Compound signal. Fido, come. Fido, here. You decide. I don't care if you say Fido, Scoobernog. Doesn't matter to me. But you say it, and anyone who wants to call that dog must do the exact same thing. And then I want you to knock out between now and Monday, when I come back on Monday's video, here's your homework. I want at least 200 of these things right here. Little leash, 4-foot leash, that's all it takes. Captain, come. Call that dog right there to the spot. Whip that treat back around. Boom, give that treat. Do it out of a heel. Heel. Captain, come. Bam, yeah. Have that enthusiasm in it. Whoa, whoa, free. Attaboy. Have that enthusiasm. I'm telling you what, this is not time to be obligatory. Scratch your dog's top of their head like it's some sort of keyboard. No. Dogs know me. My dogs know me. Hey, the biggest cost that you could possibly ever get from me is when you don't come when called later in training. But let me tell you something else. Some of the greatest rewards you'll ever get from dear old Bryan is when you do come when called. So I balance my system, and I make it fun, and I make it worthwhile doing it. But no matter what, I make you do it. I make you do it. When I am first training my personal dogs, you will never, ever hear me say, Captain, come, that I can't make it happen. And we'll talk about that mistake on Monday, because that's another big mistake when you're trying to train your dog to come when called. You give them choices. Choices. So right now, we're not worried about them sitting when they get here. Captain's been saying, again, he's been trained. I'm using a trained dog. Maybe on Monday, I can pull a dog out of our facility and use one that has not been so trained. But in the beginning, all I care about is this. You go from point A to point B right here in front of me. Point A to point B right here in front of me. You stay right here in front of me. You don't leave right here in front of me until I tell you you can leave right here in front of me. Until then, you just keep doing the same thing. Same darn thing. Same darn thing. Captain, come. Bam. Good boy. Free. Yeah. Ah, boy. You guys do that, and I promise you, it's going to happen. You are going to have the dog that you can take anywhere on this good old green earth. And when you say come, they hear you, or they even see a hand signal. They are on their way to you. Not stopping to play with the dog on the way. Not stopping to chase a squirrel on the way. Straight to you, lined up, dead smack, right here. When I arrive, what do you need me to do next, Bryan? There you go. And I'm telling you, there is nothing that will set you more free, and same goes for your dog, than come and call. Cattle dog. Let's get that leash off, because we don't need a leash. We already paid our dues. Time for you to pay yours. Check you guys out tomorrow. Goodbye.